Here we are with yet another e-rig review. Look, there's so many different e-rigs out there, and I'm interested in trying out a lot of them. This one actually came out a couple of years ago, and I tried it not too long ago. There are a lot of e-rigs, but Lookah, the brand that makes this, makes a ton. I just looked at their website earlier, and they have over like a dozen different e-rigs. Like, they have a lot of different stuff on their website, and I'm here to tell you if it's good or not. First, I want to say this is something I tested out a little while ago on my Twitch stream. If you don't follow me on Twitch, you could literally get my first opinion on some products. You could see some of the stuff that doesn't even make it into videos. I wasn't quite sure if I was going to make a video on this one. I was a little disappointed at first, but I figure I could help somebody save a little bit of money if they were considering getting this. So first off, I do want to say this isn't that expensive. It's under 200. I think it's in like the 170 range. I believe this is like the top of the line or the most expensive one that Lookah makes. They have a lot of stuff that I've heard people talk about. There's one other product I'm interested in checking out from them, but it's like half the price of this, and it looks a little bit cheaper, and that's the Dragon Egg. If you've used that and you have a good experience, let me know about it. This one comes with two different chambers. One of them you could wipe. I don't know how well you can see it there. I don't have the best light, but it's basically just a coil vape with a little quartz dish over the top. Like some of the first vapes that I used were very similar to this. Just the coil, they didn't really have the quartz on top. They started doing that not too long ago. That way your dab is coming off of the heated quartz and not off of the glowing red metal, because that's what this thing does. It glows red. It's got a few different options. I said there's a couple different coils. The other one's like ceramic and it's got holes in it. And when you heat it up, you can see like the pits of hell underneath. Like it gets super glowy red down there. That's how a lot of these cheaper vapes work. They're really just doing a glowy and they're hiding like the furnace behind a bunch of stuff. Like you think your dab is vaping in the dish and then it just drips down onto like something super red hot and then you just scorch your dab. Like some of the hits on this are not great. You can game it or work with it a little bit. There's only 3 temperature settings. That blows my mind. Some of these devices have only 3 or 4 temperature options and they're all bad. The 3 on this, not so great. But it also has 2 types of heating modes. So you could do like a manual mode where you hold the button down and you hit it, or you can do like an automatic mode where you hit the button and it runs through a session itself. But when it runs through the session itself, even on the lowest temperature, it's so hot. It's so unbelievably hot. It makes me wonder, like, do the people that try these devices like test them out and do they actually dab? I do get confused by how bad some of the hits are in concentrate devices. Like some of them, the hit is so hot, which is wild, right? When you're spending a lot of money on an electronic device, you expect it to be fine-tuned to be able to give you like the proper temps and stuff. And some of them are really just like, they're getting so unbelievably hot, which will give you vapor. Sometimes it might even combust your concentrate. But just because like you hit a button, inhaled, and were able to exhale like a cloud of vapor doesn't mean that you got a good hit. Some of these hit so hot that you get like a huge hit, and a lot of people mistake like a huge exhale for it being a good hit. Right here, a lot of people go, oh, this thing rips so hard. It's like, well, it's doing that on the lowest setting. I don't think it should be hitting that hard. I do like that it has the magnetic snap on here. You kind of wiggle it into place. I think more of them should do that. I can't get it into place now. What's happening? Oh, there it goes. I'm like, yeah, it's so easy. I couldn't get it on. This doesn't use USB-C. We got micro USB on there, so it might take a little bit longer to charge than some other devices. I just cleaned this up a little bit early. Not too difficult to clean. It's got holes all the way around, makes it easy to get the water in and out. The chamber's relatively easy to unscrew and replace. Obviously, you want to wait for it to cool off before you try to swap it out with the other ones. But that's part of the problem, right? We've got multiple atomizers here, and the atomizer is the problem. Like, they both suck. It comes with 2 of them, and they both suck. You're limited by the device only having 3 temperature options and, 2 modes, automatic and manual. But you really could make up for some of that performance with a better atomizer. Now, I don't know when we're going to get to a better state of atomizers, but I think that's like the biggest downfall of a lot of these devices. Like the RGBs don't matter, the heat up times don't matter. All the cool stuff that you want to tell me doesn't matter. Oh, it's got haptic feedback. It's going to vibrate when it's ready, but it's going to do a glowy right after it's done vibrating, and you're going to get an unenjoyable dab. So I would say some of the more enjoyable hits I did get off of this were with the manual mode, but it's really like slowly trying to stay at that low temperature, because when you hold the button down too long, it just gets way too hot. So you got to let it off when you start to get a little bit of vapor, but then it's not hot enough to produce it, so you got to push the button again. So you can kind of work with the manual mode a little bit, but that's not what I want to do with an electronic device. I want to hit a button or hold a button, and then it give me like a really good consistent dab. Some of the devices I have really do that. Like a Puffco gives you like a really good dab every time, and it's like a very consistent dab where you only notice changes if you put more or less in there, or you switch up the concentrate. But if you keep putting the same size dab in over and over again, you're going to get a nice consistent hit. Some of these seem like they just burn any regular size dab, or you got to put a lot in there to make up for it being so hot, and that's just not how you should do it. That's not how you should consume concentrate. You're really meant to take the essential oils, the best part of the plants, and give yourself like a nice, enjoyable, flavorful hit. And most of these devices just burn through all the flavor. So at the end of the day, I don't recommend getting it for that price. I'm not sure how the mini one works. I'm not really interested in testing that one out. But if you know about any other e-rigs you want me to try, leave me a comment and let me know. I am doing a tier list very soon. I'm not sure which other ones that I'm gonna try out before I put on the tier list. I did get one I tried last night on Twitch, so maybe there'll be a video on that one soon. But yeah, tune into my Twitch stream. We do a smoke sesh 9 p.m. Eastern. You get the first look at any of the devices that I use. And if you want to know my favorite consistencies of concentrates, check out this list right here. I made it about a year ago, and I'm wondering if I should redo some of my tier lists. Best ways to smoke is coming soon, but should I redo this one? Let me know. Have a lit day, my dudes.